Hi guys, this is Starcraft and welcome to ASL Season 14 Round of 24 Group F matches. I am Namcraft, very happy to be with you today, and out of all things, we are going to be having two Protoss players. So that means at least 4 games, yeah, because the two Protosses are in different brackets. So either both of them win, you know, even if both of them wins or both of them lose or both of them. Yeah, so I think a minimum of 4 matches with Protoss players, if my calculations are correct. So very excited for a prospect of that to happen. Yeah, because what better things to have than more Protoss matches, right? Let me introduce a little bit about the players today. I'm just going to raise the volume a little bit up to see if everything is going to be just fine and jolly. So we are going to be having 4 players, 2 Terran and 2 Protosses. The first match is between Rush and Free. Rush, Yu Youngjin, born 1991, 31 years old. He is the tier 1 player in this group, and his opponent is Free. Yoon Young-tae, he's born 1988, so very old, 34 years old, and he's the tier 4 player in this group. So Terran versus Protoss on Butter. The next matchup is going to be we're going to be seeing Mong facing up against Horang 2 or Horangi. Mong is Yoon Chang-hee, year of birth 1992, age 30. His opponent, so Mong is tier 2, and his opponent Horangi is tier 3. Lee Kyung-min, 1992 as well, so same age as Mong. Of course, not the same weight. No, I shouldn't make any fun of the player's weight, but Mong is known to be one of the one of the heaviest players in Starcraft, in the history of Starcraft. Who would be the second heaviest players? It might be Shadow. Shadow is also very heavy. But anyways, who's the smallest player? If I have to pick, it might be Gegmo or somebody like that. Yeah, but anyways, very excited to have these prospects of nice, beautiful Starcraft games. Right off the bat, we have some cheese by both of the players. Looks like Terran. Rush has put off a kind of a cheesy engineering bay to block his opponent free from building a quick command center, quick nexus rather, whereas he's going to be sitting at home taking a command center himself. Both of the players are going to take it at just exactly the same time, Free a tick of a second later. Free's got, I think, 2 Zealots out now in the map. Rush still just sticking with, I think, 3 or 4 Marine at this point. He doesn't have the leisure to go for anything else at this stage of the game because he doesn't have gas. The SCV from from Rush is still alive. He's just gonna try to get a bit more information. This Zealot is gonna count the number of Marine inside the bunker by the damage that it takes. This SCV has it can sustain 3 more hits before dying, and this moving shot is quite miraculous. I'm never able to do it correctly, but looks like Free is gonna do it correctly, and he kills off the scouting SCV. So everything is very standard. Another scouting SCV goes out just to be completely safe about where his opponent Free is going to expand. Rush likes to keep everything in order. Just very standard core there, right in the corner, so it's gonna be very difficult. Also, these Zealot tries to get in, no, but they don't. They're just gonna check the timing of the command center. Everything looks quite standard. The probes are going to get transferred, and the timing of the probe transfer, I think, is going to signal also to to Rush, when is the Dragoon is going to be coming out. This SCV doesn't take any hit from that, so props to Rush for what he's doing. Of course, Rush is the favorite here, but never count Free out. He is one of the original 6 dragons in the old Kespa days, along with Stark, Bisu, Jangbi, Best, Stark, Bisu, Jangbi, Best, Free. Who's the 6th one? Probably Cow. Yeah, it's probably Cow. It's definitely not Much. Much is another very good Protoss player, but he's definitely not one of the 6 dragons. Is that the second building, the gateway, or the Robo? I'm not so sure what was the. I didn't catch the glimpse of that building, but the SCV from Free from Rush is gonna come out, and it might go home. Yeah, so that is just gonna be a second gateway right in the face of Rush. So Rush knows that his opponent doesn't have a Robo, not yet anyways, at this point in the game. The SV is gonna be able to run home, I think, safely. Is he gonna send another SV out? No, we don't see it, but very good catch from the Zealot to pick up that SV. Okay, looks like the Robo is already up from before, and the observatory is going to be constructed. Not sure if Rush sees that Robo before. It looks like it's gonna go for a very tech-heavy build, a double armory, so it's gonna have very strong upgrades out of just 2 factories. Sorry, not that is not double armory. Just the other one is the academy. So he's gonna be using that to put up a comsat station to be completely safe. Everything looks standard from both of these players. A single Zealot is out in the map. We have a Vulture wandering around. It's gonna be going towards the 12 o'clock position at this point. This probe from Free is decided just to gonna build, I think, a scouting pylon at either the 3 o'clock position or the 4 o'clock position. This is the actual probe that is gonna build something. This Vulture coming out, he doesn't see anything at this area, and it's becoming more and more popular for the Protoss player to take the base at the 2 o'clock position when they're spawning from the left side. I'm sorry, from the top side of the map. This other probe dies. The Dragoon, I think, has range at this point, but looks like he's not going to be engaging that Reaver, I'm sorry, that tank and that Vultures. More units coming out of the gateway for Free. The Vulture doesn't have speed just yet. It's gonna go and check out this expansion. Good block. The Dragoon's going to be able to corner this Vulture. This Vulture's dead, I think. The Dragoon needs to focus fire. And is it going to be able to catch the Vulture? Very good catch from the Dragoons. At this stage of the game, any single Vulture counts, because Vultures are going to be able to lay mines. And if you have fewer of them, you're gonna have just fewer things to worry about. An Observer comes in, the comsat station is ready. So this Observer is gonna be better to run out. Rush, I think, knows about the presence of that. I think he took a scan also in his opponent's main base, so he knows that Reaver tech is going to be on the way. The Observer sees everything and is going to run out. We have one Goliath in place. That Goliath is not going to take a shot at that Observer just now. Zealot are going to be loading into that Reaver. This Observer sees everything. Free is going to be moving out. Very quick command center also from the part of Rush. Not sure if he's going to be able to pop that command center anytime soon, because he's going to be facing a Reaver contain, which is very popular nowadays when we see Protoss fighting against Terran on these maps. Probes being transferred to the 3rd base on the part of Free. His probe transfer is not disrupted like in the previous game we saw between, was it Mini? No, it was Snow and Haya. Of course, another tier 1 versus tier 4 match, except that one was the tier 1 was the Protoss player Snow, and the tier 4 was the Terran player. We're gonna have a Zealot dropping into the mine. Very good. That mine is going to land. That Reaver took a lot of hit, and attacking the tank was not a good idea there. He should have attacked the SV, because he doesn't have enough shot to go and complete that completely destroy the tank. So the tank lives to fight another day. But at least now Free is going to have a contain on his enemy, and this doesn't really look like the tier 1 versus tier 2 matchup. Looks like Free is holding his ground quite well. He's ahead by about 20 supply now, but you know, I think the difference in skill might show up in the late game, mid to late games. For now, all of the players seem like they're quite standard. Looks like the starport is completed for Rush. Let's see if Rush is gonna go for a dropship. We have the scouting pylon. The Dragoons from Free is not moving back fast enough. Some of them took damage. They're going to try to attack in this area, but look at that, a little bit clumsy Dragoon movement from Free. This is a player, what a players like Snow, I think, would not make that kind of mistake. He would move it just at the moment where he hears the tank sieging and unsieging. So anyways, let's hope that Free is going to exhibit some kind of nice strategies for us here. We have Dragoons and Zealot in this area, but there's a lot of mines. Observers are not in place to get some kind of spotting action. This Reaver has speed, but he's not going to use it to bust the main of the Terran. He's just gonna stay outside, and looks like Free, you know, if it was Snow at this point, he would try to position some troops at the 4 o'clock position just to keep that command center from floating over there. But looks like Free is not going to do that. The 4th base for Free not yet being secured. These tanks and Goliaths are going to get on the high ground. Which unit gets on the high ground first? It looks like the Terran, the army, gets a little bit constipated here. A Zealot was able to block. We have another tank coming out, and where's the Reaver from Free? These units are trapped. The Zealot is not being used at all. They're gonna try to be used now, but those units are going to die. He's gonna try to salvage as much as possible and just get about 3 Dragoons out. Very good observer work to take out these units, these turrets and these mines. The observer lives. No, it doesn't live. Mr. Tower Turret is going to die, I think. We have Zealot moving in without siege. I'm sorry, without speed. We have another set of Reavers, I think, coming in here. They're just gonna be Zealot. Where's the second shuttle? We don't see the second shuttle. The second shuttle comes in now. It has Zealot and Reaver and something else, maybe. The Reavers is going to hit some tanks on the other side. But no, that was a little bit clumsy, I think, for Free. And he lost a lot of units there needlessly without being able to really disrupt the base of Rush. And now the two players are still on par with each other, but Rush is able to establish his third base a lot easier than Haya was able to do that in his game against Snow yesterday. But let's see how the two players are gonna be duking it out in the next part of the game. At this stage of the game, if Rush go for some kind of dropship play, I think it's gonna catch Free completely off guard. Some tanks at the 11 o'clock position, or some vulture attack at the 2 o'clock position and stuff like that. So let's see. The 5th Nexus is going to be planted out by Free at the 10 o'clock position. Vultures are still secure in this area in the middle, and the two players kind of resetted each other. We don't have a lot of cannons anywhere, so dropship would be very nice. Free is cutting as much corners as possible by not going for cannons, and that might ultimately just be against him in the mid to late game. But let's see if looks like Rush is not making a dropship. He's added an add-on to his starport, so that means he's gonna be going for just pure science vessel play. A lot of good defensive structures are here at the what is that place called? The 4 o'clock position. We have a Reaver here. That Reaver is gonna try to land to catch these vultures. Maybe no, or it might be a High Templar drop. This shadow is waiting to go in, but no, it looks like he's not going to go in just yet. He's waiting on the periphery. This is something that Snow was not able to do effectively in the game against Haya. It looks like Free has a better chance here. He's gonna go for a lot of High Templar droppings, especially the southern bases. The base at the 6 o'clock and 7 position are particularly vulnerable to these kind of strategies. We have a High Templar able to cast a single storm before dying out. So that is the end of that vulture excursion. Probes being transferred to the next base. So this game is going to go on a little bit more stable than the game we saw between Haya and Snow. No crazy battles, and the players is gonna take a lot of bases. Look at this, guys. Not a lot of cannons being put by Free. This is both a blessing and a curse. If Rush is able to go for some kind of drop play in the mid game, he could disrupt and just do some quick wins. But looks like Rush is gonna play a very standard, a macro-oriented game. He's not gonna make anything out of the ordinary. Not going for any kind of drops. No vultures run by either. Vulture run by to take out the High Templars would be very good. So a lot of vultures are here at the 2 o'clock position. Let's see if they're gonna group together and go towards the expansion of Free at the 12 o'clock position. A lot of Dragoons are coming back just to cover the area. We have the Stargate completed, and so it looks like Free is going to transition into Arbiters. After all, we have a Shadow dropping in. We have some High Templars and some Storms. That Storm was quite good. The second Storm was not good, and we don't have anything else inside the Shadow except those 2 High Templars. He should have dropped a Zealot first, but I think he lost a lot of units in that attack, and Free is now going to be maxing out. Rush is about 20 supply less than Free. But I don't know. It's gonna all come down to battle management here. Not so much harassment or macro or anything like that. It's gonna be Protoss heads on against the Terran army. It looks like Protoss has the high ground advantage, but he needs to decide what to do with that advantage. We have just a single High Templars guarding this area against any kind of excursions by the vultures. He's just moving his units back and forth, but it's gonna be max out army. The Protoss army, the Terran army has +2 weapons and +1 armor. Protoss probably doesn't have anything at this point. He's gonna be relying on Spellcaster to win any kind of battles. Yeah, just +1 weapons on the Protoss army. Good Zealot moving forward just to clear the mines. But not clearing any of the mines on the other side. So it's gonna be stalemate for both of these players. High Templars and Storms is gonna be what Free needs to win this. Free has 3,000 minerals in the bank, but he cannot just barge in here because he's gonna be wasting his supply. He needs to trade efficiently. He needs to use his high templars correctly. Those two armories spinning for rush is gonna win him the game. If the game goes on to the mid and late game situation, looks like the Terran's gonna set up this base here. He takes a scan of the high ground just above his base, and looks like the entire Protoss army is gonna move in. But it looks like Free is going to just check for both places. Zealot moving in front, and we have some high templars dropping something. Maybe we don't see any units yet, and EMP could be deployed on those units. Those shadows are not. They didn't even drop anything. I think we have some storms of some units in the back, and those tanks. Some of the tanks died, but some of the tanks lived to fight another. And these units, for some reason, they were destroyed, and these Dragoons are gonna get trapped if they come out of that area. But looks like Free is not moving out just yet. He's gonna move out now. These Dragoons are completely trapped, and this might be the end of the game for Free, I think, because his base, also his new base in the 9 o'clock position, is going to get destroyed. He needs to reinforce with a lot of units. But look, the Terran army. The Terran army is so freaking strong, guys. It's ridiculously strong with the upgrades. We have some nice storms. He's going to take out some tanks. We need to have another storm on those tanks, and that storm was quite good. He needs to storm more of the vultures in front. He needs to storm now. The storm was quite good. This kind of trade is what Free needs to get back in this game, guy, because he's not going to be able to win the upgrade war and the macro war against a Terran player. So he needs to trade well with his high templars, but a lot of high templars died during the process. I think an arbiter is already out. Not sure where that arbiter is going to be located. No, nothing to saturate this new base. Units moving here on this left side, and they're going to get shelled like crazy by these tanks, and Free backs up, and Free is holding his fort quite well, but he needs to go more for shadow and speed shadow with storm drops. He's gonna try to go for some storm drops now, but this terrain is not beneficial to his army's movement. He's gonna maybe try again, but now it's gonna be Terran with the high ground advantage. We have the first arbiter of the game. He doesn't have any kind of energy needed yet to cast the first stasis. You need about 100 energy to go for stasis, but you can never count Free out. Free is still quite good in terms of supply. He's also trying to max out against Rush. He's already maxed out, and this huge Terran ball is gonna come in. We might get the first stasis of the game, maybe. No, but looks like for now Freak's gonna reposition himself on this high ridge just to make sure he can get the most units out of his gateways and not get kind of constipated. But this is gonna be the Terran push in the front, in the face of Protoss, and Free should have moved his units out of that area before his probes. But now it looks like he's going to be losing this entire base, and we have some counter attack from Free. We don't see it yet. He's going to have the high ground advantage. It's going to be a lot of storms in here, I think. We might have a stasis. No stasis because EMP was casted. We need to have some units coming on the other side to reinforce, and now it's going to be Protoss with the high ground advantage and a lot of splash damage, and these guys are completely undefended. Oh my freaking god, is this going to be the end of the Terran push here? Zealot coming in to reinforce. We have the second arbiters to come out, and these Dragoons on the high ground are going to get cleared out by the Goliath. Free needs to continue to push on just to finish up the army to make sure that these tanks cannot escape home. He's gonna back up. He's decided to back up, so the game kind of reset it for both of the players. But I'm not sure if that was a good decision by Free. He should have just go and clear out those remaining Terran army. Now the two players are still quite together in terms of supply. We might have a stasis. That's a good stasis just to clear out that science vessel. We might have more drops. He's continuously building a lot of shadows, so that is good for Free. He needs to be doing that. Using his shadows with speed is what's gonna be saving him in the mid to late game here. I think we're officially in late game. We have a high Templars, but the Terran push is still quite strong. The Terran is not able to take this base yet. This base is being completely saturated. So if the game goes on for a long time, Free's gonna have a lot of surplus minerals to work with. But for now, he have to face this kind of huge attack. Another high Templar got sniped there. He's gonna try to get on this high ground once again. The good Terran of Butter allows the Protoss army to move your armies back and forth and to go for flanks and counter attack and re-attack on the high ground. He secured this high ground area. Protoss is only upgrades is very small compared to Terran. Terran has +3 weapons and +2 armor. This Arbiter is already being stasis from EMP from before. He might get another EMP now. Looks like he needs to back up because this entire forces are gonna get wiped out. What's the rest of the Protoss army? Some Zealot coming out just to clear the mines. That is a good idea. And now Terran's gonna, I think, block the Protoss army and break it into half here. We still have some Protoss army coming to reinforce. We have some stasis or some EMP. We have some high Templar casting a lot of storms, but not good enough. and this Arbitrus is gonna have to back up. It was sniped during the process. Looks like Protoss is gonna go for the counter attack, or at least trying to attack this area. These Dragoons are going to get wiped out here on the left flank. Looks like Terran is not going to go and take out any of the bases. Zealot in front, not enough vultures, and tanks are going to melt, I think, with this Zealot attack. But a lot of Dragoons on the low ground is so poor. The angles is so bad. But and now most of the attacks, the bulk of the attacks have been stasis, so that's gonna be very good for Free. But he's gonna have to change his angle of attack. He's gonna come up here. Not enough scan. No scan was taken, and these tanks are taken out for free. By free, no pun intended. More Terran armies is gonna be coming out, but a lot of arbiters. These arbiters is gonna be crazy to fight against, and looks like during this entire time, Rush was not able to take out any of Free's expansion, and this is what allowed Free to keep on winning and keep on going back with a lot more minerals. He might try a huge attack now because the tanks are not yet out of siege. He needs to go now before the tanks get out of stasis. He needs to attack to get the maximum splash damage. These units are coming in, but they don't have any kind of EMP. Well, we finally have some sort of stasis on these units, and Dragoons are gonna need to come on the high ground. Zen and Zealot need to move forward to block and provide a lot of buffer. Dragoons are moving on the high ground now. All of the tanks are dying. We have High Templars in the areas as well. These tanks are dead. He's focus firing on the Nexus, but that's not good to be enough. And look at this guy. Free is coming back beautifully. He's amazing. He's one of the 6 dragons. He's no one to be trifled with, and continuously Protoss reinforcement from all sides. Oh my god, that mine was freaking crazy. A High Templar need to cast a storm. Now that storm was quite nice. Clear out a lot of these units, and another good stasis on the vessels. And these tanks and these Dragoons are staying as close to the tank as possible, just to make sure that they can take the most damage when these units come out of stasis. And Dragoons are moving quite good, but do we have enough units to take this? I'm not so sure, because now it's gonna be all unit destroyed. We have a single Goliath that was able to take out the Arbiters, and now Free needs to constantly reinforce with Zealot. Zealot coming in. That was good because we don't have enough vultures, and Zealot and Dragoons are gonna come out. The Chinese focus fire on the Dragoon. It looks like the focus fire was terrible, but he was able to take out the Nexus. The Nexus has been destroyed, I think. No, the Nexus is not yet destroyed. The Nexus is allowed to live. It's got only just a few fractions of health remaining, but that last time dies, and more Arbiters are gonna be coming out, but we don't have Goliaths, so these units can just walk right over and just do a lot of splash damage. Just a single Goliath in this area. Zealot moving in, and no scan. He needs to go for some scan, otherwise he's gonna get a lot of splash damage. Finally, this Nexus is going to die, but Free can just rebuild his Nexus very fast. Good EMP. Dragoons is, oh my god, unupgraded Dragoons are so poor against these kind of units. But the last Goliath died, so this single Arbiter is gonna be able to attack and take out a lot of these tanks. Looks like Free is so close to winning, but so close to losing. None of the players have decided to go in and do something else. We might have more units coming in. This tank on the high ground is going to be able to siege this area. Free needs to find another angle of attack. I think a lot of Zealot bombing, Zealot splash damage was quite good, but now Free's gonna be down to no mining. I think we have a set of 2 Dragoons not being used at all at the bottom side, but Free's minerals is dwindling now. He's got no army, I think, and the last cannon is going to fall, and that huge battle in the end was quite good for Free, but not good enough. And I don't know what Free could do now. He's gonna try to go for the counter attack. Looks like the command center is being floated towards the 5th base of the Terran player at the at the 8 o'clock position now, and Free has one chance. He needs to clear these, but he needs to have observer. He has 1 observer with speed, so that is quite good. But his base is gonna be falling now. Let's see if his forces. He's got a lot of static forces inside his main that are not going to be used. These units need to go and get grouped up together with the rest of his army. He's gonna try to do just that now. This Nexus is going to fall, and now Free is gonna be down to no mining at all inside his main, and also other bases. But a lot of Protoss army is gonna be coming out. Let's see if he's gonna be able to do something. He needs to get cast stasis. This Arbiter has already been hurt from before, so that EMP was completely unnecessary. But where's the rest of the Protoss army? Oh my god, he needs to not get EMP'd. Zealot might try to clear out this area. Nexus is also destroyed once again. He needs to, oh my god, if he has thought of producing just 1 or 2 shuttles, it would be very, very good at this point. We have a lot of units moving in, but they're not moving in the right concave area, and now the Arbiters was destroyed, and now it looks like Free is gonna get sandwiched between the 2 different bases. The Xenons attacking, we have another Arbiters out here, and that Arbiters is gonna be able to just provide a little bit of leverage, but not good enough, and Rush wins the game. Free GG, that was quite intense, but not good enough to beat Rush. And let's move on to the next game. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.